So last week I was bouldering, right? And then I really had to take a shit. And it just so happened that me and my friend both needed to take a shit. So we went to the toilet and the toilet stalls had no tissues. So we were outside and we were just the tissues, right? Because we're like, oh my god, we need to take a shit, right? What if not enough tissue paper to wipe our ass, right? Okay.
Then my friend went and looked at all the fucking toilet stalls, right? She was like, what the fuck? There's no bidet here except for one toilet stall, which is the one that I'm gonna be using, so fuck you!
I really had to take a shit already lah. So I went to another floor to try and find another set of toilets, okay? And then I found another set of toilets. Then I went inside to check for bidets. Guess what?
Every toilet that was free did not have bidets either.
I really couldn't tahan already, okay? I really needed to fucking shit already, okay? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use the OKU toilet.
And I never do this, okay? I never do this. I just really, it was an emergency.
While I was taking my big fat dookie, I heard a fucking knock. And I was like,
oh, maybe it's just somebody who also wanted a bidet, you know?
great minds think alike.
And so I ignored it and I continued taking my big fat shit, right?
And then a few minutes later, the knock came again and I was like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna get my ass up, with my ass out, with my bush out, go to the fucking toilet door and be like, hey, what's up?
I wasn't done taking a shit, so I continued taking the shit. I ignored the knock.
I finished taking a shit, I used the bidet that I fought so hard to find, and then I wiped my ass, I flushed, and then I washed my hands, and then I went to open the toilet door and guess what? A woman in a wheelchair was out there waiting for me, and then I smiled at her. And I walked out with my two very able functioning legs. I don't know if you all know the TV series called The Good Place.
Which is basically the good place is heaven and the bad place is hell. And the way you get to the good place is you need to get a certain number of points in order to get to the good place. And if you don't get those number of points, then you're going to go to the bad place, which is hell, right? And I do not entirely agree with the method in which they give people points. Because say for example, and I'm going to tell you how this relates to my toilet situation, okay? This person wants to go buy a bouquet of flowers. So he goes to the florist shop and buys a bouquet of flowers because somebody fucking died and he wanted to go to a fucking funeral. And he wanted to bring the bouquet of fucking flowers to the fucking funeral, right?
So he bought the fucking bouquet of flowers. What he didn't know is that this bouquet of flowers will send him to hell.
Because the florist shop that he bought it from is actually owned by a company which franchises a lot of florist shops. And the CEO of the company is very fucking greedy. And they exploit people in poverty and they unethically source the plucking of the fucking flowers for some shit like that lah, okay? And there's a lot of carbon footprint or whatever the fuck lah, right? So basically he minus points because, oh, you're giving your money to this fucking greedy CEO. Oh, people are getting exploited. Oh, carbon footprint. Oh, this, oh, that. So he cannot deny points. And because of that bouquet of flowers, he got sent to hell.
In my case, who is really at fault for me using the OKU toilet? Okay, and I sound like a fucking Karen right now.
Maybe it's the mall management's fault because why the fuck are there no bidets in every single toilet store?
Maybe it's the CFO's fault.
Why didn't the CFO segregate out enough money to buy bidets for all the toilet stalls in the shopping mall?
Or maybe it's the bidet manufacturer's fault.
Because why are your bidets so expensive until the mall cannot buy the bidet?
It's the developer's fault.
Because why is your per square foot so expensive to the point the mall cannot afford more square feet so that they can have two OKU toilets side by side?
Or is it God's fault?
For creating human beings who need to take a shit.
Why never ask us to do photosynthesis?